This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
But tonight, I tell you with absolute confidence, we are going to win the Democratic nomination.
Super Tuesday is in the books and the votes are in. We're breaking down the results and the latest delegate count.
The census generates federal dollars for central Indiana based on the number of people living here. Working for you, we're looking at the efforts to make sure everyone is counted.
Hiring Hoosiers is looking at a Bloomington-based company opening pathways for employees.
We realized that there was an obstacle to people coming to work at Cook.
New this morning, the efforts to make sure that employees are able to accomplish their career goals now and in the future.
And face masks are hard to find in U.S. stores right now. We're taking a look at efforts to prevent price gouging so you don't waste your money.
And it is 6 o'clock here. We want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. It is March 4th, already into March.
It is a great Wednesday morning. If you're going to get that car wash today, don't forget to roll up all the windows.
Oh, no.
Roll up all the windows. I learned that yesterday.
Oh, no. All right. Well, we'll have to hear that story here in a bit because I know our meteorologist, Kyle Mounds, who is with us this morning, is eager to tell everyone what to expect weather-wise today.
Yeah, and a few of us are going to get a free car wash out there. We got a couple of very light showers to the north, so yeah, make sure those windows are rolled up. We got 37 degrees on the thermometer. That southwest breeze around 10 miles per hour. Breeze will be a bit of a factor once again as we go through this afternoon. Storm Team 6 radar showing where we've got some of those showers, and they are going to stay mainly over the northern half of central Indiana, but already sneaking their way into Fowler and making their way toward Rensselaer and even western portions of White County toward Monticello. So those locations might want to take along the umbrella or just a jog to the car this morning instead of that leisurely walk. There's that south breeze around 10 miles per hour as we go through the afternoon. Gusts between 20 and 25 miles per hour, so I don't think it will be quite as breezy as what we had out there yesterday. And there's a look at that quick rise in temperatures. We're already in the upper 40s by 11 a.m.
All right, Kyle, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on your roads as you're heading out there. Good morning to you in Fishers. This is a live look at I-69 at 106th Street. You can see traffic there. Moving along up to speed on I-69 northbound and southbound. No delays to slow you down. So let's plan out your commute. Let's take a look at our traffic now maps. Heading over here to the east side, your drive time going westbound on I-70 from Post Road to I-65 at the North Split. It's a 10-minute commute. Everything there is traveling up to speed.
We begin with Democracy 2020, and former Vice President Joe Biden will kick off his Wednesday with big wins from Super Tuesday in states across the South and beyond. And Bernie Sanders appears to be leading in the delegate-rich California.
As ABC's Inez de la Catera tells us, the stakes could not be higher as the Democratic contest for president is set to become a two-person race, and it's likely to drag on for weeks.
Two states are still too close to call. Former Vice President Joe Biden did win the most states, but it's still unclear who won the most delegates. Overnight, Joe Biden making a remarkable comeback.
They don't call Super Tuesday for nothing.
With some states still too close to call, the former vice president sweeping the South, winning at least 9 states on Super Tuesday. After a series of early losses, Biden getting a last-minute surge from his landslide victory in South Carolina and from Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar, who endorsed him after they dropped out.
We're told, well, when you got to Super Tuesday, it'd be over. Well, it may be over for the other guy.
But it's still far from over for that other guy. Bernie Sanders went into this as the front runner and racked up big numbers in California, Colorado, Utah, and Vermont.
I tell you with absolute confidence, we are going to win the Democratic nomination.
Super Tuesday was also the first time Mike Bloomberg was on the ballot. And while he did get his first delegates, the former mayor failed to win any states. And the same goes for Elizabeth Warren. Both are now facing calls to drop out. Bloomberg and Warren are both looking past Super Tuesday. They spent the night campaigning in states that will be holding some of the next big voting contests in a week. Inez de la Catera, ABC News, Washington.
Hoosier voters are scheduled to cast their ballots on Tuesday, May 5th. Early voting gets underway on April 7th.
It is 6:04. Starting next week, you're going to be seeing mail from the United States Census Bureau as we kick off the 2020 census. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what Indianapolis city leaders are doing to make sure that every person is counted. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So take a look at this map right here. This is Marion County, and this is an undercounted place for the census. The dark blue representing the most undercounted. And for each person not counted on this year's census, it could cost the city $30,000 per person over the next decade. And that's why the city created Count Me Indy, a campaign to make sure every person living in Marion County is accounted for on this year's census. Callie Kennington is the campaign manager for Count Me Indy, and she says the census needs to know who's in your community so they know what federal funding your community needs.
And that goes towards broadly education, healthcare, transportation, emergency services. So to give you an idea of the kinds of programs that those are, that includes Medicare, federal Pell Grants, SNAP, WIC, different services that are going to benefit our city over the next decade.
The campaign is also working to debunk myths that Immigration and Customs Enforcement will have access to these records. Kennington says there are no questions on the census about citizenship, and all census records are sealed for 72 years. Now, if you haven't self-responded either by phone, online, or by the paper that they send you, by the end of April, you will see census workers at your door. They'll come up to 6 times. And we also found out that Count Me Indy is going to host events at the library to help people self-respond online if they don't have access to the internet. Coming up in the next half hour, how Count Me Indy is hoping to get over the language barriers in this census season. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. Some really important information there. This morning, the search for survivors continues in Tennessee following Tuesday morning's tornado outbreak. The storms killed at least 24 people, and at this hour, rescuers are searching for nearly 3 dozen others just east of Nashville and Putnam County. The National Weather Service says multiple tornadoes with winds of nearly 160 miles per hour moved through Middle Tennessee. President Trump is expected to visit the area on Friday.
The time now is 6:06, and residents concerned about development in Broad Ripple Park are set to make their voices heard at a public hearing this afternoon. The plan involves turning a former library into a community center. The facility would also include primary care facilities for a community health network. Indy Park leaders say the partnership helps fund the $19 million project. Some neighbors are fighting the proposal, saying the park should remain separate from private companies. That public hearing is scheduled for 1 o'clock at the City County building.
A bill heading to Governor Holcomb's desk would get rid of student test scores when it comes to teacher evaluations. The House and Senate have both voted to get rid of the standardized test result portion added to teacher evaluations in 2011. The evaluations are used to determine pay raises for teachers. The change is one of the things teachers and their supporters were calling for during last November's Red for Ed rally at the State House. We'll send you a push alert on the RTV6 app if Governor Holcomb signs the bill into law.
It is 6:07. A woman will be taking the helm at DePaul University in Greencastle. On Tuesday, the Board of Trustees voted unanimously to appoint Dr. Lori White as DePaul's 21st president. She's currently the vice chancellor for student affairs at Washington University in St. Louis. When Dr. White takes over on July 1st, she will be the only African-American woman leading a university here in Indiana. She succeeds Mark McCoy, who announced in May he would step down at the end of the academic year. He's been president since July of 2016.
So are you ready? The first games of March Madness are just 2 weeks away. The first 4 games will be held just down the interstate in Dayton, Ohio, down I-70. This morning, the NCAA says they're closely watching the coronavirus. In addition to Dayton, 13 other cities, including Indianapolis, will host March Madness games. On Tuesday, NCAA officials announced they've put together a medical advisory group in dealing with the threat of of that virus. The organization also says they're getting daily updates from the Centers for Disease Control. A timeline on when the NCAA officials must make a decision about the virus's impacts has not been set.
Purdue is still on the bubble when it comes to getting into the NCAA tournament. The Boilermakers on the road last night in Iowa, fresh off a big win over IU. The matchup against IU showed Purdue's dominance in rebounding, and it would appear again last night in Iowa City. Purdue enters the half up by 17 and never looks back. They get the win on the road 77-68. The Boilermakers host Rutgers at Mackey Arena on Sunday. A win over the Scarlet Knights would help the Boilers' tourney chances tremendously. Meanwhile, the Hoosiers are looking to avoid falling to the bottom 4 of the Big Ten standings. A win tonight against Minnesota would help the Cream and Crimson. The Hoosiers come into tonight's game a projected 10 seed for the NCAA tourney, but losses this week could hurt their chances. The Hoosiers haven't reached an NCAA tournament since the 2015-2016 season. IU closes out the regular season against Wisconsin on Saturday.
A Bloomington company is doing more than just hiring Hoosiers. New at 6:14, I'll show you how they're providing their employees with pathways for a better life. Kyle.
And this morning, all the kids are going to need that coat as they head off to the bus stop with temperatures in the 30s, but some of them you might want to sit along the umbrella, especially as the kids head off to the bus stop there around Kokomo, Petersburg, and also into Marion, Indiana. But look at the forecast this afternoon. The sunshine returns, and so do those 50s. A very nice finish to our Wednesday. We'll take a look at the rest of your forecast and have many more news headlines. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
TV.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative, it works to connect you to jobs, resources, and training to better your career and, of course, your life.
And when it comes down to it, most of us are just wanting to work so that we're able to take care of ourselves and our families.
And so that's why one Bloomington-based medical device company is providing opportunities for everyone who wants to work to achieve that American dream, no matter what degree you have in hand right now.
I make sure that the products don't have any problems.
Nicole Natali works as an inspector for packaging here at Cook Medical in Bloomington.
They're not going to cause the patient any damage internally.
Cook is a privately owned medical device company employing nearly 12,000 worldwide.
I make sure that they're packaged properly. Nothing's gone wrong from production to shipping them out.
And the company is not only hiring Hoosiers like Nicole, but providing a life-changing opportunity through what's called My Cook Pathway.
I had tried several times to get my diploma through Broadview, kept flunking out, couldn't follow through with it. And then I heard about this, where you could get paid while you did it. You can't pass up that kind of an opportunity.
We started My Cook Pathway several years ago. We realized that there was an obstacle to people coming to work at Cook. Well, our jobs required a high school diploma, and a lot of people just didn't have that.
Pete Youngman is the president of Cook Group and Cook Medical. He says they've been doing the My Pathway program for 2 years now.
If you look at our region, there are 25,000 people of working age who don't yet have their high school diploma. And what we found with that group of people, when we talked to them, is that they really get stuck in jobs that just don't have a pathway to a career.
People like Nicole, a single mother with 2 daughters and no degree.
We created a program where people could come work in the morning for us, and then we'd pay them to go to school in the afternoon so they could get their high school equivalency.
I jumped on it, and 4 months later, had my diploma, and here I am.
Since the start of the program, more than 200 people have graduated through the high school portion, plus others continue on.
And so we're seeing people going back to school in their 60s, which is fantastic because they're learning new skills and they're helping bring new ideas back to us at Cook.
And for many, like Nicole, it's a big hand up and a chance to break the cycle of poverty.
It's a lifesaver, honestly. If it wasn't for My Cook Pathway, I don't know where I would be. I know I wouldn't have my diploma. I know I wouldn't have this job. I wouldn't have my home. It saved my life, honestly. And it made it to where I can better take care of my children.
She says her 4-year-old asks Mommy how her day went, and now she can answer with pride.
Now it's an accomplishment. Besides my girls, it's the greatest thing I've ever done for myself.
So Youngman tells me that they've been meeting with other companies to show them how the pathway works for them. He says it's not only life-changing for people in their local community, but it's also cost-effective, and they create that loyal employee base, which is great for the culture there at Cook. If you want to learn more about how My Cook Pathway works, or if you want to take part in this program, you can learn more by visiting our website, hiringhoosiers.com, and just click on that story.
It is now time to check your forecast with meteorologist Kyle Mounds. And Kyle, it is great to see you. I never get to see him. So
it has been a while.
It's like, hey, good morning, Kyle. Hey.
Yeah, nice to cross paths this morning. And as you get ready to head out the door this morning, hey, we're looking pretty good. We've got a cool pocket of air, but we're still talking about our temperatures around central Indiana above where they should be for this time of year. And you already start to see those numbers are rebounding back to the west. So the actual numbers, we're at 37 right now in downtown, 38 in Kokomo, and Bloomington. You've already bounced back into the 40s as we've got that south breeze for us this morning, around 10 miles per hour. So it will be a little breezy. This afternoon, if it is your trash day when you come home, that trash can might be knocked over. It shouldn't be in the neighbor's yard or anything like that. I don't think we'll have the winds like we had yesterday. We do have a few showers to contend with this morning. You can see some of those already moving into Fowler, also around Monticello, but these are very light showers that are going to continue to move toward the east and also toward Logansport. So here's a check of TrueCast as we go through the morning hours. By 8 a.m., could see a couple of those sneak in for you around Thorntown and Boone County and also around Anderson. But by 11 o'clock in the morning, we're already starting to see those showers move east of Muncie and some sunshine for the afternoon. And once that sunshine comes out, temperatures will again take off. We're in the upper 40s at 11 a.m., mostly cloudy skies there, but there's the return of sunshine and numbers this afternoon that will rally back into the lower and middle 50s across central Indiana. 56 this afternoon in Bloomington, 51 for you in the Muncie area, and 48 in Peru. Our average high is around 47 degrees. And on Thursday, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds across the area once again. I think it will be a dry day, maybe a stray shower into the evening, and there are those temperatures into the 50s. So all this dry time is certainly beneficial because it has been a soggy 2020 so far, really, over the last couple of months. Here's a look at TrueCast, 5 o'clock tomorrow evening, and we start to see this system that may crank out a couple of very light rain showers. But again, that's not going to be a big deal for us. Slightly cooler air on Friday, and that's where we'll get the chance for maybe a couple of snowflakes to mix in here. It is still technically winter across central Indiana, even though we are into the month of March. Not going to see any accumulation or anything from that, and it will slide off to the east, setting us up for a beautiful weekend. Here's a look at your 7-day planning forecast now the next couple of days. We've got those highs in the middle 50s. There's that cool down on Friday to 40, but look at that. Heading into the weekend, 50 with some sunshine on Saturday. We'll be around 60 degrees for Sunday, and that chance for some rain, that will return on Monday. Looks like that one could be a fairly soggy day for us, and a few of those showers holding on into Tuesday.
All right, Kyle, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on your commute this Wednesday as you're traveling right now on the northeast side, northbound I-465, a view here near 56th Street. This is from our live drive vehicle. Our photographer, Shay Goodpaster, in the driver's seat, and this is a dash cam view. Everything is moving along smoothly, no issues. So let's travel up to the northeast side and give you a look at your drive times as you're heading southbound through Hamilton County, starting here at State Road 37, heading down to the I-465 ramps. No delays, a quick 5-minute drive.
A central Indiana couple is paying it forward after experiencing the benefits of counseling firsthand. Brian and Michelle Peters are opening their second Coffee House 5 location this week in Franklin. Since opening their first coffee house in Greenwood 8 years ago, the couple says they've raised around $200,000 to help pay for counseling for things like addiction and relationships in their community. The couple got the idea after going through counseling to save their marriage and noticing how many other people were having similar issues.
Quite literally had people start to show up on our doorstep and ask for help with their marriages. I started to research the barriers to counseling, and that was the #1 barrier, the cost.
Brian and Michelle are also setting aside money to help people pay for counseling for other mental health issues.
Best of luck to them. What a great idea. Tired of your pets stealing your food? Is this you? What's going on? New at 625, the unique restaurant hitting the road just for your pups. And we live in a beautiful city. You can't see it right now, but it's a great place, also a great area. This is, of course, a live look from Bloomington. Good morning to Monroe County. Don't forget daylight savings time. It's on Sunday morning, team. That means we're going to lose an hour of our time as the clocks move forward. It's now 6:20. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Keller & Keller.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:23. Here's a live look at I-69 and 106th Street in Fishers. Traffic's picking up in that area. But it looks like everything's traveling up to speed. Good news is you're heading out the door this morning. Okay, guys, there's nothing I like more than seeing some would-be crooks get bamboozled by a homeowner. Maybe they leave some poop in the box that they're trying to steal. Those are my favorite stories.
Wow, okay.
Here's one like that. A California homeowner turning a sprinkler into a security system, aiming it directly at the would-be
so
thieves.
good, right?
Yeah. The homeowner posted this video on social media, and in it you can see a man on a bike going onto her property. When he gets too close to the woman's truck, that is, he hits it with that powerful jet of water. The homeowner says the thieves have been stealing things from cars in her neighborhood, so she set up this motion-activated sprinkler to protect her possessions.
She's like, not
Go,
so
girl.
fast.
I want one of those in my driveway.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sanchez, if you're listening, let's do it. No need for a doggy bag at this food truck. See, the Wolf Bowl serves up healthy fast food treats just for pooches. Where are the pooches? Oh, there they are. The truck was started by a veteran suffering from PTSD who wanted fresh treats for his dogs. The owners say their food is made fresh every day, so what's on the menu? The food truck serves hamburgers, tacos, donuts, and even dog beer.
Oh my goodness, that is great.
They're the dogs, okay.
All right, from dogs to goats, student organizations at Chico State University in California coming together to encourage their classmates to vote. California was one of 14 states taking in yesterday's Super Tuesday. And to encourage students to cast their ballot, leaders went to the farm. If students showed that they voted, they got to pet a goat. No word this morning on how the campaign actually turned out.
Like their party hats.
Interesting.
Speaking of GOAT, the greatest of all time, Kyle Mounts joins us this morning.
Like that? Look at that. Wow. I'm glad I woke up for that one this morning.
Hey.
All right, yeah, so things are looking pretty good this morning. We've got a couple of rain showers out there for some northern areas around the Fowler area, also into Monticello. You can see a couple of those showers are going to be scooting on through. As we go through today, the temperatures, they will start to warm up a little bit. Right now, we've got numbers in the 30s in Indianapolis and Kokomo, 41 in Bloomington with those clear skies, but there's that south breeze. And as we go through today, we will notice those winds breezy once again, between about 20 and 30 miles per hour for some of those wind gusts. It should start to drop off, though, in time for your drive home this evening. Heading out the door this morning, though, a couple of those showers to the north. Most of us stay dry with temperatures rebounding into the lower 40s already by 8 o'clock today.
All right, Kyle, thanks so much. Looking for one of those medical face masks right now? Well, good luck. Stores across the U.S. and companies, they're sold out, and they can't tell us when more are coming in.
So working for you, John Mattery shows us what's even worse. Profiteers making big bucks off those masks so that you don't waste your money.
One of the worst things about a crisis is people who try to profit from that crisis. And in the case of coronavirus, it's online sellers price gouging. Hunting for these right now?
These are the kind that it's a surgical mask.
This is what you'll find in most Walgreens, Home Depot, and Lowe's stores. Empty shelves. Online, medical masks used to cost less than $1 each, with a box for $7.99. Even the better N95 masks were just a couple of bucks each. A check of Amazon, though, now finds most masks sold out. But we found a pack of N95 masks for $886, 10 times the original price. This comes as the CDC says healthy people do not need to wear masks, suggesting instead you wash off them with soap, avoid touching eyes, nose, and mouth, and wipe down surfaces. So from the Doesn't That Stink file, sellers ignoring Amazon's warning about price gouging. Amazon is pulling gougers' listings, but high-priced masks keep popping up. It's enough to make you say, doesn't that stink? eBay is filled with listings, meantime, that don't inspire much confidence, like this coronavirus mask made in China. There's no such thing as a coronavirus mask.
Sure, if you're worried, it may be tempting to pay whatever someone is asking for face masks, but the CDC says a thin paper mask probably won't protect you anyway, so don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Madrees. Good morning, Indiana.
For more cost-saving tips and ideas, visit the money section of our website, theindychannel.com.
Well, the state's largest renewable natural gas plant is now open, and get this, it's going to convert trash into energy. On Tuesday, Connectrix Energy cut the ribbon on its Indy High BTU plant. The facility converts methane gas from landfills into millions of gallons of natural gas each year. That means more fuel for trucks and buses that run on natural gas and fewer greenhouse gas emissions. Connectrix says that once its new plant is completely up and running, UPS will purchase more than 50 million gallons of renewable natural gas over the next 5 years.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning. Here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Police are asking for your help in finding this man who might be in danger. He is Charles Redenbaugh. He was last seen in Hendricks County Tuesday night. State police issued a silver alert for the 38-year-old man late last night. If you think you have seen him, please call the Hendricks County Sheriff's Department at the number on your screen, 317-839-8700.
Metro Police are investigating after a person walking along Fall Creek found a body floating in the water on the city's northeast side. The body was discovered Tuesday afternoon on East Fall Creek Parkway North Drive. That's near North Keystone in Binford. Right now, it's unclear how that person died and how they ended up in the water.
A man already serving a long prison sentence for one murder is now facing additional prison time for another killing. On Tuesday, a jury found that Carl Woodall guilty of the 2017 murder of James Sapp at an East Side apartment. Almost exactly 1 year ago, Woodall was found guilty of another murder in 2017. He is currently serving a 63-year prison term for that crime.
A woman from Anderson convicted of neglect in the death of her toddler son is going to prison for 40 years. 28-year-old Jennifer Harris was sentenced 1 month after a Madison County jury found her guilty in the death of 18-month-old Harlan Haynes. Harris's former boyfriend Dylan Tate is already serving a life without parole sentence in the toddler's death that happened in early 2018.
Women with high-risk pregnancies in Indiana now have a new place to turn. The Riley Fetal Center is open in Riley Hospital for Children's Outpatient Center. The goal is to provide multiple services in one single location to help ease the burden on expecting mothers. Doctors hope the center can support maternity care deserts in other parts of the state as well and reduce Indiana's infant and maternal mortality rates.
Welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday, March the 4th. It's going to be a nice day in the area. And of course, we have sunshine in our good friend Kyle Mounts, who's filling in for Todd Clausen this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you. Yeah, we enjoyed some sunshine yesterday. It was a little breezy out there trying to do some yard work and things. And today will be a little breezy as well. We got a couple of showers to talk about in a few spots. Not all of us are going to see the rain today. Right now we got 37 degrees. There's that southwest breeze. So yeah, we got to talk about a wind chill. Feels like 30 degrees right now in Indianapolis. As we look around central Indiana, we've got wind chills in the 20s in Peru and Columbus. It feels like 26 with an actual temperature of 32. Here's a look at satellite and radar and where we've got the clouds and a couple of those showers moving in areas around Fowler. You've had some very light rain moving through the area. This is going to continue to move toward Delphi as we get through the next half hour or so. Same story for you in Monticello. But I think that's going to be staying north of Interstate 70 here as we go through today. A few showers this morning. Already as we get to the lunch hour, though, we're starting to clear out those skies. We'll have temperatures around 50 degrees there. Heading into the afternoon, looking very nice with a temperature topping out at 54.
All right, Kyle, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on the roads this morning from our live drive vehicle. Here's a look right now on the north side of town. Our live drive is on westbound I-465 right now near Michigan Road. You can see traffic there is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. So that is good news. We'll continue to monitor your commute and keep you updated on any delays.
Disaster in and around Nashville, Tennessee. The number of people killed by the tornadoes that hit early Tuesday morning is now at least 24. More than 36 others in Putnam County, east of Nashville, are still unaccounted for. But through the tragedy came at least one emotional reunion between a boy and the firefighter who saved him. ABC's Trevor Alt has more.
People were crying and screaming. I mean, we didn't know what was going on. It
sounded like a freight train come through.
The windows had been blown out, the doors had been blown open, and our neighbor had been ejected from his back house apartment back there into our yard.
This morning, the path of destruction clear and devastating after multiple tornadoes hit central Tennessee.
It is heartbreaking
We have had loss of life all across the state.
Rescuers overnight searching for dozens of people still unaccounted for. Survivors coming together trying to assess the damage.
All the windows are being boarded up because he brought lumber to our house.
Terrifying 165-mile-per-hour winds slamming the region in the middle of the night early Tuesday, tossing planes across runways at this airport, tearing through business after business, and gutting this warehouse. The smoke still visible hours later. Schools left shredded and shuttered, broken water mains seen spraying into the air, rows of homes left in ruin, down power lines turning streets into dangerous labyrinths.
The devastation is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's incredible.
Hours earlier, this little boy was trapped by down wires outside his home. Firefighters rushing to carry him to safety.
You were rescued.
The pair reunited last night.
It was pretty scary, though, right? Sure. But I'm very proud of you.
Before sharing a special thank you.
Pleasure. Yes,
Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
A great story there of that reunion. Well, despite those tornadoes, Tennessee was actually among the many states where voters went to the polls on Tuesday, and it was one of the states that gave a major boost to Joe Biden's run for the White House. The former vice president won at least 9 of the 14 states holding Democratic primaries on Super Tuesday, with only 3 states going to his top rival, Bernie Sanders, so far. Now, after poor performances in Iowa and New Hampshire, Biden has come roaring back with the help of a coalition of moderate and liberal Democrats that started coming together after his big win in South Carolina last weekend. But while Biden is surging, Sanders says he isn't done yet.
And you want a nominee who's a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama-Biden Democrat. Join us.
One of us in this race led the opposition to the war in Iraq. You're looking at him.
Well, the remaining major candidates in the race, Elizabeth Warren and Mike Bloomberg, did not win any states and finished well behind Biden and Sanders. The lone exception was the America Samoa, where Bloomberg won the territory's Democratic caucuses.
The time now is 6:35. Our Democracy 2020 coverage continues. Joe Biden is back per the polls, and now it appears to be a two-man race for the Democratic nomination. Our political insiders join us this morning to break down Super Tuesday on this Wednesday. Democrat Jamar Cobb Denard, good morning. Morning. And conservative commentator Abdul Hakim Shabazz. Welcome to Democracy Couch. What is the takeaway this Wednesday morning as the candidates still continue to campaign?
Biden is stealing this race. A week ago, we never would have thought this would have happened, especially after his tanking in Iowa. And all of a sudden, this guy is the front runner. And I think it's because of the weight behind him of other candidates dropping out of the race, and also the party making sure that they push their guy.
Abdul, we're still waiting for California's delegates, so we don't know who's going to top the delegates list so far. What does this mean?
Well, what it means is you had to look at the early states. Look at Iowa, look at New Hampshire. That does not look like America. It does look like the full Democratic Party. When you got to a place like South Carolina, and it was a primary, not a caucus, so more Democrats could participate. Joe Biden, he sprungboarded on that. And the most happy person right now is James Clyburn, because had it not been for James Clyburn, the congressman from South Carolina, not only with his endorsement, but also with his statewide organization, that was a springboard that gave new life into the Biden campaign, which we saw manifest itself through Super Tuesday.
Will Michael Bloomberg drop out? He spent millions upon millions of dollars. He was counting on something on Super Tuesday. The only delegates he really won were the delegates of America Samoa out in the Pacific. What happens next for that billionaire?
So one thing that we see is that money doesn't necessarily win presidential races. Donald Trump had the cash, but he also had raging and raving fans, especially throughout the South of America. Bloomberg has cash, he's got the media, but he doesn't necessarily have the fans, and I think he and Elizabeth Warren are both going to drop out of this race.
Abdul, will Indiana matter? Our primary is not till May the 5th, which in the world of politics might as well be the year 2035. Will we matter in May?
I think so, depending on what comes out of California. And please note, California, they can still mail in ballots as of until Friday, and so they still got a lot of ways to go. If this is still going on, we can see basically a repeat of 2008 was Hillary Clinton, Barack Barack Obama, and also 2016, where it was Donald Trump and Ted Cruz. So I could easily see Indiana being in play.
And final question, gentlemen, Elizabeth Warren, what happens to her?
You know, I think she has some great ideas. Obviously, she's the only woman left in this race, and she's got a lot of supporters there. But really, this is going to be Bernie chasing Biden over the course of the next couple of months. And Elizabeth Warren, she should really throw her weight behind one of those candidates to make sure that they win.
And Abdul, is the president concerned this morning?
I think he is, because Joe Biden is the one that, no matter how much Donald Trump tweets, is the one they probably never really wanted to face to begin with. But as far as Elizabeth Warren goes, good riddance to bad, rubbish, and political candidates.
Our political insiders on this Wednesday morning. Meredith, now back to you.
It is 6:38, and covering the State House this morning, a proposal that could slow or even halt Indigo's future expansion plans has moved forward in the Senate. The bill would create consequences for Indigo if it doesn't raise 10% of the money for its projects from private donations. Of the $5 or $6 million needed to hit that 10%, Indigo has raised about $35,000. Yesterday, members of Indigo, the AARP, and other organizations called for lawmakers to reject the bill. They say recent improvements and upgrades could all be erased.
Routes that were an hour and they're now moving to 30 minutes, or the routes moving from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, that 8 that goes every trip, all that goes backwards. It all goes backwards.
Indigo says there are no other cities in the country that require public transportation funds to come from donations. The bill will now head back to the House for more consideration. State lawmakers have also passed a top priority of teachers. The state Senate voted unanimously on Tuesday to end the mandatory use of student standardized test scores for teacher evaluations. Those evaluations help determine merit pay raises. Adding those test scores was part of a Republican overhaul of education in 2011, but teachers have long fought the requirement, saying they shouldn't be evaluated based on the results of one test. The House has already passed the repeal, and it now goes to Governor Holcomb for his signature.
Well, this year's census will have direct federal funding to local organizations. So next, our Kelsey Anderson finds out about how efforts being made here are to making sure that every Hoosier is counted. 6:40, we'll be right back.
Budget stretches further at Mattress Firm.
Welcome back. Starting next week, you're going to be seeing mail from the United States Census Bureau as the 2020 census kicks off. For the first time ever, actually, you'll be able to self-respond online. But for some people who are living here in the Hoosier State, that can be really difficult because English isn't their first language.
Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what the city is doing to ease the language barrier and make sure everyone is counted. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So Spanish, French, Burmese, Hakachin, and Arabic, those are the 5 languages you'll see on these pamphlets from Count Me Indy. Count Me Indy has partnered with Luna Languages Services to make sure everyone, even those who aren't originally from here, get counted in this year's census. The campaign manager for Count Me Indy says each person who doesn't get counted could cost the city up to $30,000 in federal funding. And she wants to make it clear to everyone that the answers are confidential and can't be shared with any agency or level of government for 72 years.
So that can't be shared with the IRS, ICE, even the President of the United States does not have access to census records. And I really want to emphasize that everyone counts in the census, regardless of citizenship status.
So what are the questions on the census? They want to know your age, birthday, race, ethnicity, phone number in relationship to the people living in your home. Kennington says there is no question on the census about citizenship. So starting next week, you will start receiving those mailings on how to self-respond. You can do that over the phone, through the paper they send you, or online. And if you don't self-respond by the end of April, that's when people will start knocking on your door to get you to answer those census questions. And then Count Me Indy's also going to be having events at local libraries to help anyone who doesn't have access to the internet self-respond online. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. March is here, and it's time, for hoops, hysteria, time for the badness. Next, we'll show you how Indy is getting ready to be the hotbed of Big Ten basketball for the next 2 weeks. But first, what a beautiful, is that the sunrise right now?
It is. I'm actually, let's just step out of the way and soak this in, right? Beautiful sunrise over the city this morning. We got some sunshine, couple of clouds out there. And as we go through today, we will see just a couple of showers north, but 55 this afternoon into Thursday as well. A little cooler on Friday. We'll talk about that system coming our way. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on RTV6.
Dream Mattress Studio at Value City Furniture.
Welcome back. It is 6:47 on your Wednesday, and we have live drive out on the roads on the northwest side, heading southbound on I-65, just passing 38th Street a few moments ago, heading towards that beautiful sunrise we showed you from the Weather Now camera. Looks like traffic here, heading in from the northwest side, is moving along up to speed.
It is already March Madness time. If you can believe it, the Big Ten basketball tournament back in Indianapolis.
Welcome to all basketball fans. Fans and teams will be all over downtown for the next 2 weeks. The Big Ten women's tournament starts this afternoon downtown at the Fieldhouse. The first game tips off at 2 this afternoon as Illinois takes on Wisconsin. Then it's Penn State battling Minnesota after that. The tournament continues with 4 games tomorrow. Purdue plays at noon against Michigan State. As for IU, the Hoosiers finished in 4th place during the regular season, so they don't have to play until Friday. The women's tournament continues through Sunday. Good luck to all of the ladies.
Well, the men's Big Ten tournament tips off at Bankers Life a week from today. Along with the Big Ten, the Horizon League finals will also be held here. Those games are next Monday and Tuesday at the Fairgrounds Coliseum. High school boys state tournament, it's also underway with state finals on March 28th, and the NCAA Midwest Regional comes to Lucas Oil Stadium that same weekend. Not to mention the Pacers have 6 home games. The first of those is next Tuesday. We were saying earlier, it's a good thing we love basketball here in Indiana.
Can I tell you, I have a fear, though. Here's my fear. Every time there's basketball this time of month, right, there's a little bit of snow. And I know you guys give me a hard time because I have a snow blower, but Kyle helped me out. Usually in March, there's still a chance for something to fall.
In the last couple of Marches, we've had some of our bigger snows. We got a chance for a few snowflakes on Friday. Yeah, no. But at this point, we are ready to say goodbye to any winter weather. And you know what? The outlook for this month is for above average temperatures. So that's working in our favor if you're not a snow lover. All right, temperatures right now, 37 in downtown, 30 is the wind chill, feels like 25 in Columbus, and it feels like 29 in Peru. So yeah, you're going to need that coat this morning, and a few of us will need the umbrella for some light showers that are making their way through into Lafayette right now, and these will continue to press east, moving into Frankfort, also nearing Kokomo in western Howard County, and you've got some light rain showers around Delphi. A few more of those light sprinkles and rain showers moving into western Putnam County for you this morning, and now east of Rockville. But you might see a couple more of those as the morning goes along. Here's TrueCast by 8 o'clock. You can see that most of that activity, though, is going to be staying north of I-70, and any rainfall, it'll be light and pretty quick moving here. As we go into the early afternoon, we actually see the return of some sunshine here, and temperatures as a result, along with that southwest breeze, are going to start to kick up pretty quickly. Upper 40s already at 11 a.m. And we'll find those afternoon temperatures getting back into the 50s in most spots, where you got a couple of those showers this morning, a little more cloud cover lingering around. Upper 40s in Marion and Kokomo at 48. But Anderson, Muncie looking pretty good today at 50 degrees above average. You'll get to 55 in Martinsville and Shelbyville and Crawfordsville at 53. And look at numbers as we work our way south of I-70 around Bedford and Seymour, not too far away from the 60-degree mark. And I do think some of us will see 60 here in the 7-day forecast. Probably not, though, before we get through this week, because we do have a little dip in temperatures that's coming our way with a weather system Thursday night into Friday. That will take our temperatures back by about 15 degrees for the afternoon high, but we're already starting to rebound on Saturday at 50 for the high there. So the precipitation that comes with that temperature change, this is TrueCast. 5 o'clock Thursday evening. You can see a few of those showers, very light rain showers, once again, pretty much like what we've got this morning. Those move out. There's where we could see a couple of those snowflakes early on Friday. Not going to be any accumulation with that. 7-day planning forecast. There we go. That temperature transition, and the weekend still looking really nice. Sunshine, temperatures back to around 60 by Sunday. That's our pick of the weekend before rain moves in on Monday.
All right, Kyle, thanks so much. We are keeping a close eye on your commute this Wednesday morning. Here's our live drive vehicle heading southbound on I-65, getting ready to go into the downtown area. You can see traffic here heading in from the northwest side, traveling up to speed. No crashes or delays around the metro area right now to slow you down. home.
Some teens are managing to get around the new rule banning the sale of flavored e-cigarettes. Coming up on Good Morning America, the workaround they have found and how you can try to stop it.
She was born without most of an arm, and she wanted a very specific type of prosthetic because she's a Star Wars fan. Coming up, how she received that and much more thanks to a man who knows something about using the Force. That story coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Welcome back. We have our live drive vehicle out taking a look at your commute. You can see the sun coming up over the Circle City here. This is I-65 southbound. Went just through the downtown area. Didn't take very long, and now he's heading to the South Split. So everything downtown is moving along up to speed, and there are no crashes around the metro area on this Wednesday. So Isabella Tadlock was born without much of her left arm. The Florida girl has long dreamed of having a hand to pick things up with, and she also is a lifelong fan of Star Wars.
So when Isabella asked for a new arm, she didn't want just any regular, ordinary arm. She wanted an R2-D2 robotic arm, but the price tag was steep. $14,000.
Well, that's where Star Wars legend Mark Hamill came to the rescue. He retweeted a link to Isabella's donation page. The money was raised last year, and Isabella finally has her new arm. And thanks to Luke Skywalker himself, she also has this memory that will last forever.
Luke Skywalker.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
Just this morning, my daughter Chelsea was showing me the video of you with your R2-D2 arm. Oh man, that is fantastic.
And of course, Isabella and Mark ended their chat with "May the Force be with you." And we're 2 months away from May the 4th.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, it's March 4th today, and we've got some nice weather.
Yeah, pretty nice out there. You know, it is about time. We had some chilly temperatures there in the month of February. It seems like we've really turned the corner here going into March, and there's another check of that beautiful sunrise. Temperatures already in the 40s this morning. Muncie, Martinsville, and Bloomington, Indy not too far behind at 38. Now, we do have just a couple of light rain showers around Fowler, portions of White County, and just north of Lafayette there this morning. Those will not last very long, though, and we will actually see the return of some sunshine heading into this afternoon. A little breezy. That southwest wind, though, will help get temperatures around 50 degrees as you're heading out for the lunch hour today, 55 for that afternoon high. And over the next 7 days of that forecast, we're mild through Thursday, a little cool for Friday. Not bad. Couple of showers there before we warm it up heading into the upcoming weekend.
All right, Kyle, great to have you here with us today, and thank you guys at home for joining us. We're back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic.
All your news throughout the day is on the RTV6 app.
Enjoy that sunrise. Good Morning America is next.